Next, my responsibility to introduce Professor T.D. Kemparaju. He is known as Professor T.D.K. He is the professor in the Department of Library Information Science at Bangalore University. Currently, he is the Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University, and he having the PhD in the field of library information science from Bangalore University. He has started his career as a lecturer in library information science, and he is having 37 years of experience as a lecturer, associate professor, and professor. He has been guided many PhD students, and another 8 students is currently pursuing under his research. And Professor Kemparaju has served as various administrative positions such as Professor and Chairman of Department of Library and Information Science, Bangalore University, Director, Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Board, Bangalore University, Registrar, Bangalore University, and Mangalore University, Karnataka. Professor T.D. Kemparaju has visited many countries for his academic purposes, such as Peking University, Beijing, National University, Singapore, Bangkok, Thailand, and Konkan, and different his academic and research assignments. His biodata is very too long to discuss, so I just briefed it up. So with this small introduction about Professor T.D.K., I would like to invite him for today's virtual summit. Over to Professor T.D. Kemparaju.
Once again, very good afternoon to all my professional colleagues and very learned speakers who just now delivered presentations on the chosen topics representing different nations in the world. In the meanwhile, Professor Lakshman Rao, the Honorable Director of this international conference, and Dr. Nazim, the host from the side of the Aligarh Muslim University, and other my professional colleagues who are organizing this program, invitees, participants, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I take this opportunity to congratulate the Aligarh Muslim University Department of Library and Information Science and the Association under the stewardship of Professor Lakshman Rao for initiating this a very good program. Anyway, friends, well, all of us are reading, listening, perhaps we are also interacting. Anyway, my learned colleagues, we all of us know that a lot of debate discussions are going on various fields of activities in various disciplines. Since we all of us belong to the field of education, particularly higher education, in the last 5 to 6 months, there is a widespread debate is going on various aspects of education and also related aspects of education. And in the last 2 months, India has launched the new National Education Policy 2020. In that angle, throughout the countries, even outside the countries, debates and discussions are going on. So we are all living in a very critical condition, critical situation because of coronavirus and COVID-19 program. In spite of these critical situations, we could not be able to meet physically. I think a lot of meetings are taking place in the virtual environment. In fact, more discussions, more debates, more deliberations are going on in a virtual environment compared to the physical environment of our earlier years. So anyway, as I said, a lot of discussion is going on, a lot of debate is going on in the field of education, commerce, management, trade, science and technology. Library and information science is not an exception. A lot of discussion, debates are also going on through our library professionals, our library associations, library and information science schools, and libraries of various kinds. So friends, we are all living in the age of transition, age of change. The transition is happening in all sectors. Because of the changes happening in various other sectors, Let us make an impact on the libraries. That is why libraries are changing. If our changes are slow, we have to fasten our changing attitudes. So today's society, where it is witnessing tremendous changes, we are observing a different type of characteristic features in the society compared to the previous period. I pick up only the four important unique features of the societal changes. One kind of a change what we are observing, that is called as today's society is a quality consciousness society. Quality is the order of the day. Everyone wants quality. Everyone expects quality. Everyone wants to build quality in their work, in their profession, in their services, in their product. That is what the expectation of the society, that is the quality. This is one of the very important, that is why today's society is a quality consciousness society. Second one, today's society is a technology driven society. Technology has encroached every part of human life. We have reached a situation that we can't work, we can't succeed, we can't move without the support of technology. So that is how technologies is encroached every part of human activity, encroached every part of every professional activities, and we have come to a conclusion that they have accepted, we have embraced technology for increasing the quality, efficiency and effectiveness in our work. The third important characteristic feature of today's society is called this information intensive society. So society as witnessing tremendous, we are creating a lot of information, we are communicating information, sharing information and also consuming of lot of information. So the information is becoming one of the most important supporting component for our professional activities. And the last and important one in the context of economy, today's society is a knowledge based economy or the knowledge based society. This is a kind of a shift where from even a country like India, where the national economy earlier was agriculture, later on industry, now it is based on the knowledge base on the knowledge sector. So that is how the libraries which are undergoing a lot of changes. The changes in libraries not only in the structural aspects, but also changes are happening in the functional role of the libraries. The libraries are the centers of learning. They are the centers of promotion of excellence. And also they are the centers which helps for happenings. So this kind of a changes what we are witnessing in the landscape of life, particularly in the context of our country, that is India. Though we have achieved significantly during the last 7 decades, from 1947, which is the day of independence, but still we have to achieve a lot in the field of education, because not even a single university has figured among the top 100 universities in the world. Since we belong to a field of education, we have to take note of these kinds of issues and see that we have to work in this direction. The changes which are happening in the landscape of libraries, if you look at the current trends, technology is a striking feature which is making an impact on our libraries. As a result of these technological developments and its their profitable application in our library and information work, there's a lot of structural changes, functional changes, and also other kind of changes are happening in our library information profession. And one important thing what we have to take note of in Indian librarianship is any kind of librarianship changes, developments depends on changes are happening in other sectors. Since changes are happening in other sectors so effectively, definitely it is having its own impact on the structure, function and role of libraries. And if you look at the Indian librarianship, but very unfortunately still we are continuing with the uneven picture or uneven development of our libraries and library sectors. Public libraries, school libraries and college libraries. At the one side, They are showing, they are exhibiting the one kind of a picture. Secondly, the university libraries, research libraries comes under the government is another kind of a picture. And the third sector of libraries, such as these multinational companies, business libraries, and also industrial libraries, etc., another type of. So we are not finding till today a uniform growth, a uniform picture of the status of a library. So it is continuing since from several years, and I hope that in the coming years there is a more thrust has to be given to bring in a good developmental pictures. And the second point, the changing landscape of libraries, what's happening. There is a library collections format where there is a shift from print collection to the digital environment. And also, very importantly, there is a great change in our information environment. And the time has come, we are using the internet or the Google for library application to promote library services, to reach our users. But on the other side, Google is also becoming one of the strong competitor for the libraries. And we're going to come to that point in a later part. And the third changes happening in the landscape of libraries related to information services, information products. So beginning with this library automation, there's a number of changes happening in the functional scenario of libraries in India. The institutional repositories, digital library services, the consortia services, open access movement, virtual reference service, discovery service, content management, mobile library service, IoT, artificial intelligence, expert system, and very recent, just now, one of our resource person has identified the importance of this data science. So all these kinds of technological changes has made an impact on our library services, library products, and also the information resources that is lead to a emergence of new kind of libraries. That is what is called as a new generation of libraries. The second component of change, what we are finding in our Indian library environment, that is our library users, which is our more focal point. So the library users nowadays, they are more of IT savvy. They like to use the library without visiting the library. There is more traffic in a library without entering into the library. And the library users nowadays very aggressive. They expect everything instant, on the spot. They have no patience to wait. And the expectations are more from the libraries. This we can call as how the new generation of libraries are emerging. The new generation of users are also we are finding. So to address and also to manage these two important components, that is the new generation library system and also new generation user component, the librarians has to adopt a lot of changing roles. So what are the changing roles today? The changing role of today's librarian is, he should be a changing agent, they should be a good managers, they should work as a facilitator, they should work as knowledge linkers, they should have good technologies to exploit the technology for better use of libraries, and more importantly, they must have a good approach towards research. Research is not for the academic teachers, but also librarians should develop an attitude of research. And that is why there is a need to develop a variety of skills ranging from managerial skills, technical skills, analytical skills, research skills, public relations skills, etc. And the other component, what I want to share with the audience is that all these kinds of the changes, developments in the library system, they are making a more impact on LIS education. So looking at the title of this today's international work seminar, that is re-envisioning the LIS education, present status and future trends. Briefly, I want to place before you the current state of LIS education. We are having 4 levels of LIS education in India. One is at the certificate level, which is offered by the state library associations and other professional associations, Department of Public Libraries. The second one is diploma kind of qualification courses, which is offered by polytechnics and also from the university departments. We have a bachelor's degree programs, we have the master degree programs, which are offered by the university department as well as the affiliated colleges. These are the 4 levels of LIS education system, LI education course programs, which are in existence in our country, which has been, most of them are all under the government sector. All these kinds of changes what we have identified in the libraries are changing, which has made an impact on the LIS education. Now let us take the first part of the title, LIS education present. How is the LIS education today? Regarding that, we are discussing, deliberating during the last several years. Why several years? Several decades we are all discussing. But still we have to find a satisfactory level of changes in our LIS education system, satisfactory level of developments in our LIS education system. The time has come because in the context of National Education Policy 2020, it is a great onus on us, it is a greater responsibility on the LIS associations and also library science department universities to look pragmatically, to go for a kind of innovative changes in our library and information science education. The current scenario of LIS education system depicts very sad state of situation. The first component very essentially needed for strengthening of LIS education is quality LIS teachers in LIS departments. So the sad picture, the sad situation, state of affairs, there is many of the LIS schools even now they are running without LIS teachers. A larger percentage of LIS schools are running, we are offering courses with a single teacher, and many of the LIS departments are offering with a hybrid structure, partly 1 or 2 teachers, 2 or 3 librarians jointly, and we hardly find a countable number of LIS teachers in LIS departments which are required in the good or in the right number, with the right qualification, with great aptitude. So this is what the faculty situation is very poor. This is one of the visible striking points of the current day library science education system in our country. The second one is called as curriculum. So UGC has given a lot of guidelines that is like other department, other disciplines. Once in 3 years we have to go for revision of our curriculum, which are suitable for the changing needs of the job market. Still, we have to develop a lot of approaches in making our curriculum relevant to the changing needs of the job market. And the third one is the infrastructure, the logistic support required for teaching, and this is also the poor condition. I think these are the very essential basic facilities which are needed to bring in most efficiency, to bring out good quality teaching as well as the training program. And how the library science education should be for the future. Look at from the futurist point of view, the future days definitely will be the challenging days. We have to take the coming days as the challenging days. Coming situation will be a challenging situation. Coming opportunities are definitely a good and also challenging opportunities. If you do not get it up at this level, in a fast changing environment or the fast changing society, definitely the library and information science education will going to lose its significance. So this aspect is taken very effectively, and a collective vision is required, and also to develop our LIS education system. I identified several challenges. The challenges are the order of the day. Challenges not only for the librarianship, challenges for every profession. One challenge for Indian LIS education is immediate need of the hour is to go for appointment of faculty in LIS departments. Since I am working in the universities, even in the universities, in majority of the universities in the country, during the last 10 to 15 years, now good appointment of faculty has been appointed. Even the libraries, the situation is the same. Library people are retiring, no recruitment was making, the changes are happening, a lot of new innovative programs are there, but no good quality. Even a librarianship today, we are yet to find a good second line leadership in our university library system, even in a public library system, even in other special library system also. So this is one of the very essential thing, that is, without good quality, efficient manpower, we cannot achieve other things in our education system. Equally so for LIS education. So competent staff be appointed, a teacher with good aptitude of teaching. So in a say teaching in education means, or education or teaching, library science requires a different approach. It is not teaching. In fact, it should be a training as well as supported by other aspects. Teaching, training and research aptitude is very important. Second component, program design and curriculum. So there is a great need and urgency to look into revamp our total curriculum system as per the changes happening in our library environment. I do accept that 100% we can't equip our graduates totally in all respects, as a manager, as a role player, as a technician, or as any other person. But we have to develop our curriculum, develop our logistics to prepare our LIS graduates, at least to work effectively in the changing environment. The focus of thinking, the forward thinking is required while preparing our program design as well as the curriculum. Still today we are all discussing about the relevance of our education system in our country. How far our education system is relevant to meet the societal needs or the market needs. There's a great mismatch between what we are training, what is expected in the market. This match or a gap has to be minimized. That is possible with a good teacher, quality teacher, quality curriculum, as well as other supporting things. The third aspect is for the future of LIS education system. Teaching as learning pedagogy, teaching and learning approaches with good ICT laboratories, experimental learning versus classroom teaching is what is important. We can't do everything inside the classroom, but lot many things we have to provide an opportunity for our students to learn outside the classroom. The scope for learning outside the classroom is more. Library and information science is a professional activity. So student or our graduates has to learn more in the outside than inside the classroom through our internship training programs, outreach activities, etc. Day by day, what we are finding, the entry of students for our courses. The medium of instruction is another. What we talk about is the quality of teachers, quality of curriculum, quality of teaching pedagogy and infrastructure. Equally important is the quality of input. So whether we right or wrong or the other things, medium of instruction is another thing. So the national policies given an opportunity to learn the subject on the chosen medium of languages, but library and information science education. So not the supporting infrastructure like resources, materials, documents in the local language is not yet developed. But we have provided an opportunity for the students to learn library science education in the local language, but we are not equipped with proper resource support in terms of that. The last but one, research aptitude and the research culture is very, very important. As of now today, the research start in our higher education system after post-graduation. But the national education policy has made an innovative initiatives to bring research culture at the undergraduate level itself. But very good thing we are noticing. Even that concept of research is already there in primary education. Our kids are involved in research. Our Students at the lower level, they are involved in research at the school education. But in college and university education, the scope for research in the undergraduate and postgraduate courses is very limited. This has to be strengthened. That has been identified in the national education policies. So provision in the course curriculum should be made more with project reports, work experience provisions, study tours wherever it is possible. These are all the very innovative things. Earlier it was there, but gradually these are all the things what is missing in our curriculum. It is make it as a mandatory to create a lot of awareness. And the quality of the PhD programs. On the one side, we are talking about the need for research, strengthening of research, development of research. But though research is going on, but only in the quantities, but not in terms of quality. The big debate is going on today in terms of our PhD programs which are happening in our university system, quality versus quantity. And things are very larger in universities are the larger segments of LIS training. And the last point I want to mention and I want to conclude that multidisciplinary character of curriculum is the need of the hour for LIS education. So we have to design and develop our curriculum with the multidisciplinary character because we need a technologies, management, as well as the cultural aspects, and also the library and information science, linguistic aspect, communication aspect, etc. So the future days, definitely they are very brighter days for LIS education in our country, and the time has come how we have to build our base for LIS education. At this stage, Professor Lakshman Rao is there. We have played an important role in the national level in promoting a lot of the issues. I propose that there is need of a national policy on LIS education is very much is required. But very unfortunately, that should be the part of national education policies or the new education policies. Yes, future libraries and also future of libraries. These are the two important words. How the future libraries will be and what will going to be the future of our libraries. Libraries must change, librarians must change, and LIS education also must change. We need to develop our strategies for sustainable development of LIS profession. The last point is that, yes, a great challenge, a great threat earlier was we used to study in context of libraries through fire or water or rain, etc. or wind. Save libraries from internet. Save libraries from Google. Because a misconception is going on among our users that everything is available on the internet. If that conception is continued, that our relevance of libraries, the importance of libraries, the existence of library profession is in great danger. So we have to take note of all these things while framing our policies, designing our course program, and all these things. So internet is a supporting, supplementing technology for promoting our library services. I think a good thinking is required, and it is our collective responsibility, as I said. Our national associations, library schools, university level, our administrators should take a good lead and develop a good LIS education program for the country, because India has a great asset of manpower. The library sciences have greater opportunities, and changes, challenges are there always. Equally, opportunities are there. We have to grab the opportunity and make our LIS education more relevant to the changing needs of the job market of the society. I am very thankful to the organizers, Professor Lakshman Rao, and also Professor Nazim for giving me an opportunity. And we have already initiated some of the things in this line in the Karnataka through constituting a task force. Even for the libraries development, we have recommended a task force for library development, library science education development, which is a part of the state level task force. And we wanted to do some kind of changes in the Karnataka state, and I hope that similar kind of attempts has to be made in other parts of the country. I thankful to you and all the best for the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Kemparaju. You are really covered as a teacher, as an academic administrator, as a librarian. I mean, various issues starting from academic, future challenges, linguistic. I think I salute you for your things that you have addressed to the gathering, and I know these issues are very prominent, but I think there is a need for change in thinking, change in curriculum. Even though the opportunities are there, and I think probably we need to move much faster. And I think library associations have a key role to play in this case. Thank you very much for making it possible to join the summit, and thank you for your wonderful presentation.